I mean, just came from there. It's symmetrical, which is actually kind of stands out as unique amongst some of these other ones. It's a little bit bigger than I remember too, as far as depth and positioning. I generally like to play a little bit deeper, but I found there was a lot of space in between, and especially the roof was open, so at times the ball carried pretty well, at times it wasn't carrying quite as well, which is kind of something you have to adjust to on the fly. But as far as that compared to here, it's night and day. There's, Camden plays, you get to know it, and it's kind of familiar. Here there's a lot of things that can happen, so as an outfielder you got to I guess approach things with some caution at times, just to prevent instead of one extra base there can be two or more sometimes, so you got to get a good read on things before you commit, I guess.
How about hitting at Fenway?
That obviously, if the short porch to left, it gets extremely deep to right center. I think you just strive for the same approach you normally have. If you're looking to pull, that can put you in some bad habits. So I think if you stay in the middle of the field, sometimes it's going to go your way if you do happen to get it out in front, but having a nice approach is going to treat you well.
Tampa Bay, you move indoors. How about that park?
Tampa's totally fair, other than the roof and the lights can kind of mess with you a little bit, and there's obviously turf. But as far as the way the ball travels there, if you get it, it's usually going to go. If you don't, you're not going to be rewarded either. It's totally neutral. So you go there and you just have to adjust on the fly.
Do you like the playing inside?
I don't mind it. It's kind of unique. That being said, it's over the years I've never done it consistently, so maybe we'll revisit the question later this year. But it's usually kind of a fun, different type of atmosphere. But if it can, maybe it wears on the legs more or something, you could get tired of it.
How about Yankee Stadium? Amazingly, the Orioles aren't going to go there till after the All-Star game this season. But what about that ballpark?
I've liked playing there. There's not, it can play to your favor too in certain ways, and sometimes I've hit a few balls to left that I've crushed, and I've seen them caught on the grass. So I guess it's kind of all about timing and when you go through places like that. But I think most of the ballparks in this division, especially the ball, you see it as a hitter, you see it pretty well. So there's not a lot of excuses in that regard. But it makes for kind of a wild ride sometimes.
There's a lot of games in the division. What are your feelings on that when you see the teams in the East as often as you do 19 times?
It's a great division. I mean, it proves it each and every night. You got to capitalize on any mistakes somebody makes, because you're going to need it. It's going to come down to the wire. It looks like every team is going to be competitive, and somebody goes on a tear, things in the standings can change pretty quickly. But we have to do everything in our power to play the best that we can, because any kind of missteps are probably going to cost you pretty big.
Mark, really appreciate the tour of the American.